Yeah. Yes, 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 yes. The name Tim Black, son of a black, son of a black kitty, cast first bad max, loyal to the facts, destroy him with the vax. Yup. Who's vetting the pharmaceuticals? Ain't that unusual? I look like a fool to you. Keep it going. Keep it going. Yes. We are ready. We are ready. Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black. All right. All right. Come on now. Can you do this? I got no images. Everything is no. No Tim Black. No Tim Black. What about this? Found it. I should have just left this thing off. What's going on, guys? How y'all doing? What's up, Periscope? What's up, YouTube? What's up, Facebook? I just get so used to this thing being on now. And it's just crazy. I'm just going to cut it off. So, look, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I was up till like 4 o'clock in the morning. Had to get up at 8. Try to get prepped for the show. Then had to do research on the show. Then I just woke up. I just woke up. Ugh. But I'm here. So what shall we talk about? I gotta always check volume now, man. I'm pissed off. I messed up a show, kept hitting that volume button. So what's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube? How y'all doing? You good? You good? You good? You good? It's Thursday. Thursday in the house. And all the people are out there, they're doing their thing. People coming home from work. Well, been home from work for a while now. And I titled this, right? Keep it real, Democrats. I titled this, Keep It Real, Trump supporters. I titled this, Keep It Real, America. Because I think we do need to keep it real, and I think there's an absence of realness. But you know what? I think Americans are keeping it real. I want to take that back. America as a whole, I think, keeps it real because I think we are seeing like we feel that we are the minority in a lot of stuff. That's not specific at all, Tim. I think we believe that our thinking is of the minority. I don't believe it's true. I believe that people who are aware that we got a crappy political system, that we get lied to a lot, I think that's a very popular thing. I think the idea that we bring into our homes, these people in the TV box, in the dummy box, they come into our homes and they give us this impression that we are few. But I think most people don't believe half of what they hear on the news, unless it's local, right? And hell, I know people who don't even believe the weatherman. The weatherman is the most reliable person on the news, and he only right 70% of the time. Yeah, that's what I think, guys. That's what I think. I'm trying to give people opportunity to file in if they want to file in. I want to, because I know a lot of people weren't expecting me to go tonight because they're like, Dad, Tim's 40. Ain't gracious, Tim Black. Probably not going to do a show tonight. But yeah, we're going to talk, you know what I'm saying? Like, because tomorrow's Freedom Friday, I can open up phone lines and just do a little monologue and let other people carry the show. It's just hard finding anything that's not Trump related. So I figured we do this, keep it real. So back to my premise, man. I think that most people, right? The way the average person who just works a job or a stay-at-home mom or somebody looking for a job or a student, the way they kind of see the world, I think is basically the same way we see the world. Like all of us, I think that's really the fallacy that we need to get to, is that this idea that we're alone. You're not alone, right? And the way you feel about politics is really not alone either. There's a lot more people who did not vote in the 2016 election, right, who feel just like you. And there are people who voted who still feel like you do. They voted anyway, but they still feel like, I don't trust nobody. Maybe I try to trust this guy because he's not a part of that group. So I'm going to try to trust that. Because we got to do something as a country. We got to do something. But that does not mean that people have faith. And it does. And to the bigger point, it does not mean that we're alone. So that's the way I look at it. I'm wondering what other people think, because it can be kind of, drag you down when you sit around thinking, "Hey, I'm by myself," or it's only a few, it's only a handful. It's only,
let's sprinkle some crack on them and get out of here.
It's only sprinkles of people that are seeing what's going on, but I don't think that's true at all. They may not articulate it the way you do. They may not have all the information that you do, but they know something ain't right. They know something's not right. So, yeah. So that's one thing I wanted to point out. What say you, Thank you, John Black. That's just real talk, man. And it's like one of the things, I don't want to make this about me, but I do want to say this because I want people to know it. If you're thinking about blogging, vlogging, doing your own show, any of that, anything along those lines, just know you have to reach more people, because it'll feel like you're not making any headway. But the problem is you're just not reaching enough people. So that's the solution. That's the tack, because you're going to find, it kind of blends back into my core point about this. You'll find people who relate to what you're saying, but you just got to reach them. That's all it is. You just got to reach more people. There is an audience for everything. So that's just on the side note, but that still ties in, because I think there are these people that know, they're like, man, what they're saying about Trump, that's some horrible stuff that they're reporting that on CNN and MSNBC and all these stations. I'm just going to turn the channel. So they just turn the channel. But in their head, they're thinking, wow, I don't know if they remember back when Obama was running and Fox was the CNN and the MSNBC for the entire time. Right? I don't know if they remember that, right? I don't know how long people have been paying attention to politics. But that was the deal. Like there were entities that were coming after Obama. If you didn't watch those channels, you have no idea that. And I argue with people to this day. I won't say argue. Argue's bad. I disagree with people to this day. People that I know closely, intimately, offline world. Because they didn't know that. I'm like, no, the same thing happened. You don't realize that Obama had a lot of critics. It's just that you didn't watch those channels, so you didn't hear the criticism. And I think now we have people who are looking at Trump and they see the flaws, they see the issues, they see the policies, and they're not thinking that these other people are not even watching those channels, so they're not even hearing that. And when they do hear it, you're sitting it beside in their brain. It's like, right here you have glowing praises. He's getting this done in the economy. He's getting this done. He's getting that done. He's turning back ISIS in Syria. He's doing this. He's doing that. And these people over here are talking about a book some guy wrote nobody knows with a bunch of anonymous or whatever. You get what I'm saying? The Dow Jones hit record levels, and these people are talking about what he said in a tweet. And see how that looks to them? I'm saying this is what's being fed. This is what people are getting. I'm trying to tell you, man, to me, it all depends on which your media source is. And I think if we want to be more effective, if we really want to keep it real with ourselves, we have to look at real from other people's vantage points. Not just our own vantage point and call everybody stupid. You know what I mean? Call everybody else blind, call everybody else sleep, calling everybody else sheep, when we're not even realizing that from their vantage point, that's what they're thinking about us because their news sources are different. That makes sense, man? That's just what I think. You know, I'm not trying to say I got it all figured out, but I think I have my own opinions. I have my own opinions. I don't have to look to see if it's okay to have that opinion. It's just how I feel, you know, based on what I'm noticing. So, you know, hey. Woo. Beth Lamb. Kathy Sanders says, I don't care. My stock is blowing up. Kathy Sanders, you know, there's a lot of people who can't afford to buy stock. You know that, right? That's another thing. That brings me, I'm so glad you said that. There are a lot of people who don't realize that that the country has a lot of people who are struggling. They don't realize it. They look at life based on their own situation. And whatever's going on for them, they just assume that's going on for the rest of the world, for the most part. And then they have this idea, and this is not to this person, but this is generally speaking. Generally speaking, we look at life based on our own lives. And we see, and we think anybody who's not doing what we're doing, well, it's got to be something wrong with them. Because I'm doing it. So these other people, if they don't have it or if they're not accomplishing it, it's possible that those people just don't want it. This is a fallacy. Everybody want to live indoors, man. I don't care who you are. Everybody wants to live indoors. Everybody. Even a dog will come in out the rain at some point. Everybody lives indoors, wants to live indoors. This predates this economic situation. This predates Trump. This ain't even about Trump. I want to make that clear. This is not about Trump because, you know, our imbalance of money and power to the 1%, that's been going on for how many decades? Since what, 1980? Since Clinton? Something like that, right? Who knows that answer? When did the oligarchy really start taking control and the income inequality become I know it's at the worst level that it's ever been, but that didn't start overnight. It damn sure didn't start when Trump took office. You know what I'm saying? It surely didn't start then. Oh, no. Kathy doesn't give it. Oh, she doesn't? Oh. She don't give a damn. Oh. But you know what I'm saying, right? I'm not coming down on anybody, man. I'm just keeping it 100. We're just keeping it real. The Frederick Murphy, man. Frederick Murphy, when did we get so out of balance with the income inequality? I like to know. I'm going to leave that question up. I'm going to come back to it, man, because that's important. Then we kind of go back to the root and say, well, hell, where was media talking about that? And, you know, one of the things that's really hurting me, guys, right now is the fact that once upon a time, our print media did a better job. Like, print media used to be on the grind. Get it? Like, I think our print was real because I worked in newspapers. I worked for a small newspaper here in D.C., and we had ethics. If I didn't want to cover something because I thought it was fluff and BS, my editor said, don't have to cover it. And I could have went to that conference or went to that. I remember I went to a meeting. I listened to these people talk. They gave me no counter arguments. They just tried to butter me up, brought me lunch and all this stuff. I came back to my editor and I was like, I don't feel good writing this. They didn't really give me anything to, you know, it's just all one-sided. I feel like it's a fluff piece. It'd be like PR for him. He's like, well, don't write it. Write something else. Don't worry about it. So that was in the 90s, right? So I know it existed. I don't know if it still exists, but it existed. Now, as far as cable media, I never worked in cable media, but from what I've heard, right, totally different animal. Totally different animal. So, right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about distribution as far as print media failing. I'm not talking about distribution. I'm talking about integrity. I'm talking about telling them hard stories, telling the truth. You know what I mean? Digging into an issue. And you know what? Sometimes they still do it. I believe print media still sometimes in pockets. Maybe not the bigger names, but I believe their great print media exist across this country. Problem is, similar to the problem I described, if I say you think about vlogging, blogging, doing commentary, journalism, anything where you need to distribute your words, your work, you just need to reach more people. That's the same problem. That's the same problem I think that I believe. That's the same problem that small print, ethical, diehard, not trying to make a lot of money, just trying to make a hell of a lot of difference, goes through. They don't reach enough people. Consequently, we don't know about them. Maybe you know about a few of them. If you do know of some good, hard-hitting, written print media that keeps it real, please put it in the comment section. Please put it in the comment section. So I would like Democratic Party to keep it real and just tell the truth that they're not trying to end any of these wars. Admit you're not trying to end the war. Admit you don't want to end wars. You want to fund wars. Admit it. That's what I want you to do. The reality is there have been several truth tellers, news broadcasters, journalists who have been fired for speaking out against war. In liberal publications, in liberal media. Let's admit that. That's the truth, man. Democratic Party ain't about stopping wars. That's what, look, stopping war and uniting people is what got MLK killed. Come on, man. We know this deal. We ain't gonna, you ain't gonna make me fall for no banana in the tailpipe.
I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
But they won't keep it real. They want to keep telling that lie. Like they actually care about what's going on in Yemen. Like they cared about Syria. Like they cared about Iraq. Like they wouldn't want war with North Korea. They would. Or Russia. Come on, man. And I don't mean every individual human being. I mean the apparatus. Right? When I talk about Democrat, I ain't talking about every individual Democrat. When I talk about Republicans, I'm not talking about every single Republican. That would be wrong. That'd be a broad brush. We're not going to do that here. I know some people do it. It's lazy. It's lazy to do that because if you know people, if you get out your bubble and you go talk to people, you can sit down with a Republican and have a conversation. There'll be some issues you disagree on, but fundamentally there'll be a lot of things you might agree on because fundamentally they basically want the same things. Be able to raise their kids, live in a safe neighborhood, be able to retire, be able to go to the hospital if they need to. Right? Like basic stuff. All of that, they'd be like, yeah. How you get to that is where you're going to differ. But they want the same things. So, but I think the Democratic Party needs to keep it real. If they wanted to start keeping it real, maybe they would actually want to become, an anti-war party. Maybe they would actually want to level the playing field for actual, instead of, hey, MLK, I actually want to level the playing field because there's no reason why African Americans should be doing so badly in this country unless it was intentional. That's just what I believe. You ain't going to convince me otherwise because I see too much evidence that to the contrary to nullify any idea that they're really about equality for black folks. And they need to just keep it real and just say they just want some new workers to come up in this joint. I think they should keep that real too and some new voters to come up in this joint. They need to just keep that real too. Right, because I think a lot of us see that. I don't know if all of us see it. But those are some things I think the Democratic parties need to keep real. Those are big things, though, man. They're never gonna keep that real, man. Do you know how much money there is in war? I know, look, I don't know the exact number. I don't know the exact number, but I know it's a lot of money. A lot more money than dams they give about you and I. So that's what I think. I think that Trump's, I did this earlier, but I don't think a lot of people saw it. I'm sure they didn't. I talked about Trump's fake news awards. And if the Democratic Party Democratic Party kept it real, they admit, man, there's a lot of stuff they got wrong on Trump. And a lot of that was intentional. Because you can't tell me you're going to put a video out and clip it in such a way that when you watch it, you get a totally different feeling. And then say that was accidental. I edit stuff. I edit. I'm a video editor. I have become one in the process of doing this show. And I know that if I cut something a certain way, it tells a different story than if I cut it a different way. They want us to believe they cut it a certain way, and it was just, well, we just cut it that way. It didn't mean anything. Means nothing. Wasn't intentional that we cut it that way. Dude, you cut it that way for a purpose. So but these are things you're not going to ever keep real because this is how they keep the machine going. It's how you keep the machine going. You can't get a news cycle. So even when Trump ain't making a news cycle, they'll take something, cut it, and make a news cycle out of it. And spin it that way. Oh, it's genius. Oh, it's evil. It's either genius or it's evil. Evil genius. That's what it is. That's just me trying to keep it real. I don't know. Let you guys, what you guys think. I believe that strongly. I don't think I can be turned around from that belief. I don't think so. Wilfredo Castillo says, I tell this to my son always. Always listen to both sides. You will always get half truths on both sides. Half truths on both sides. Yeah. Okay, so Trump supporters, if you're any Trump supporters in the house, y'all need to keep it real too. Just tell me you don't care. Hey, look, I'd be happier. I would be more accepting if you just say I don't care, man. Because when I point out stuff that Trump, okay, so for instance, take the wall. Take the wall. He put out a statement today. He said, I have not evolved on the idea of the wall since I conceived it. First of all, he didn't conceive the idea of a wall. It's been an idea that's been tossed around. The Republicans have wanted a wall for decades. This has been something that's been talked about for decades. Hillary Clinton didn't call it a wall. She called it a barrier. Some people called it a fence. This is common knowledge. Trump comes in. He makes a statement to people who don't know any better, who haven't been paying any attention. They just voted for Trump. They walked out of their trailer home. They walked into the voting booth. They voted for Trump. But that's how he acts. How else could you get away with a statement saying you conceived an idea about a border wall? So that's not true. Just say you don't care. I don't care. I don't care if he's not telling the truth on that. It's not that big a deal, but I'm just saying he does stuff like that all the time. I'm not saying that being true or that being false changes anything in our world, really. But that's something like CNN or MSNBC or Washington Post or New York Times would focus on and say, lie, 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 lie. When they say he's lying, they talk about stuff like that. It's stuff like that he just says. He said he didn't evolve on the wall idea, but he did obviously evolve on it because at first Mexico was paying for it. Now they're not, and he's still pushing for it. That's an evolution. That's a modification. And now him and John Kelly look like they're going to go at it because John Kelly slipped up and said, yeah, he's kind of changed his opinion. So I'm like, no, I never changed. I never changed. You know, John Kelly said, well, Trump was misinformed. Oh, no, I'm never misinformed about anything. So it's a lot of politics being played within the Trump White House. Your chief strategist says you don't know what you're uninformed. Who was Obama's chief strategist? Axelrod? I don't know. I forget who his chief strategist was. Whoever it was, I know they didn't say that shit publicly. That Obama was misinformed and nobody's talking about. I know that, right? Like, so there's a certain level. I'm just saying. I can't imagine it. And is that because Obama never made a misstatement or never said anything that was inaccurate? Or is it just because they wouldn't print it? I really don't know, man. I really don't know. I think everybody's capable of making mistakes, but goodness gracious, John Kelly. So I'm wondering if John Kelly going to get kicked out. But my point of that is the Trump supporters just admit you don't care if he says stuff like that. When you talk off script, when you make it up as you go, when you're responding to questions and you don't have really a basis, you don't understand, you don't have a field of knowledge, you've been in business, you have not been. What do you know about the Middle East, really? Come on, guys. What does Trump know about Middle East? What does he know about Syria? What does he know about Muslims, really? He didn't even know that the U.S. Virgin Islands were under U.S. control. How you not know that? He doesn't know a lot of this stuff. But instead of saying, hey, I'll get back to you. Hey, next comment, next question. Well, I'm not going to answer that. He'll answer it. That's why they say he lies so much. Because he'll just say something. And instead of you admitting that, see now, my thing is, why do you want to, it's okay to say that's not a big enough deal for me to throw the baby out with the bathwater or to lose my support. But then that would be keeping it real. Instead of acting like the people who point out that are just got it out for him and lying about it. It's not a lie. He did. It's not wrong. They're not lying on him when they say he makes up stuff. He does. He's been doing that successfully for years. Why do you think he would change now? That's what he does. He's in a negotiation. He exaggerates. What do you think the outcome will be? He does stuff like that. He's been doing that. That's him. That's who you elected. Oh, now all of a sudden he gets his job and now he's a totally different person. And he's went and boned up on he knows, he understands search and seizure laws. He understands the Middle East. He understands nuclear proliferation. Come on, man. How could he possibly? But he talks about these things. So, okay. All my Trump supporters are like, okay, Tim, gosh, Tim. All right, Tim Black. Tired of you beating up on me, man. Go to somebody else, motherfucker. All right. Somebody told me there's no such thing as a progressive community. That's what somebody told me. It says no such thing as a progressive community. It doesn't exist. It's a fallacy. What you have are people who feel various degrees of certain ways about certain issues, but you do not have a community within this at all. I don't know how I feel about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even know what that term meant a couple years ago, and now I get it, but I don't want to be in a box as far as what I believe, because sometimes certain issues, like, I feel differently about certain things. I don't want to put myself in a box. I don't think anybody should put themselves in a box and have allegiance to any particular ideology except justice and truth. And you'll make a decision based, and if you can get the right information, if you get the honest information, if you get the real information, then we can make some real choices about what's in front of us. But what happens is, as long as the information is tainted and slanted, it's hard to make a true argument. In fact, guys, here goes something else. Here goes another point. Here's another point. I don't believe we can really hold each other accountable for a lot of positions we take, because the positions that we take are based on the information that we have and the sources of our information, and the way it can be misconstrued, the way that it can be formulated with technology will heavily impact what you think about an issue. That's what I believe. That's something that I've been trying to get that out of I've been trying to figure that out. Because there's a reason. People say, like guns, for instance. There are people who feel ways about guns, but it's because of the way that they were brought up, for instance. You would tell a person who's grown up with guns his entire life or her entire life that having guns is a bad thing to do. It's bad for society. And look who you're telling that to. A person who all the information they've received, not just through other entities, but through their life experience, has told them that's not true. Because my father owned a gun, my mama owned a gun, my grandfather owned a gun, we shot guns at school, I went to the gun camp, I did this, I did that. My whole life is just a very normal thing. When there's a strange noise outside, or whatever, we ain't shaking looking for the phone. Why would we want to change that? Like, there are people like that. And if you can't accept that there are people, for them, that's their reality. And if you say they're, they're bad people or they just don't get it, well, you don't get it either. And I'm not saying they're right or wrong. What I'm saying is, coming from that life experience, you have to understand where they're coming from. And see, that's what kind of happened with me as far as how I looked at things, because I had that exposure with other people articulating it that way. And when they articulate it that way, well, you can see it through their shoes. And it makes sense. That doesn't mean it makes sense to not have background checks, though. Nah, it does. That right there, no. You should have background checks. You don't need a Uzi to protect your house. I don't care where you live, unless you live, in Syria. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean that. I just mean basics. So make sure people leave that in, because people get mad quick. Make sure you know that I still believe you got to have background checks. You don't need Uzis, extended clips, silencers, rocket launchers. None of that. You won't. No. But I can understand why somebody would say, I need a handgun in my house, or a shotgun, or whatever you use in your house. Because when somebody come in your house, I ain't gonna be there to help you. I'm over here. Here I go telling you. But anyway, okay. But you get what I'm saying? And there's other situations where I'm like, okay. A lot of other issues that I come up against. I don't know what you think. I try to keep it real. My goal is to keep it real. And I think just the way the stories are reported in different variations based on the network or the outlet changes the entire scope of what the argument is. And they're like, I feel this way. But that's because they watch this program and this commentator who they've been watching for years, who they trust, this entity that they trust. And just convincing them that they shouldn't trust that entity is a hell of a job. I know the people on the right, the conservatives or whatever, they say red pill, right? Is there a blue pill? Is there a blue pill out there for people? Are people running around going, you're going to get blue pilled? I don't know. I'm just wondering. Yeah, people have said, Tim, you need to get red pilled. I'm like, I just want truth, man. It's all just truth, baby. I don't need to be peeled anything. Banana peeled, red peeled, you know what I'm saying? Key and peel. I don't feel I want to be peeled. I want to be awake. I don't want to be medicated. Get what I'm saying? You get it. You get it. You get it. You get it. What's up, Facebook? Talk to me, Facebook people. People in Facebook, they still out there. A couple people. Hillary was fiending, was finning to put up a no-fly zone in Syria. I know you said fiending. Fiending. Willie beaming. Any given Sunday, bro. Hillary Clinton was fiending to put up a no-fly zone over Syria. Yeah, do people remember that? But see, it went over well, didn't it, with the most of the Democratic, the centrist Democratic. It was fine with them. Who said that? Let me give him a shout out. Who said that? Was that Sean Mark? Damn it, Sean Mark. I think I missed it. Yeah, they were fine with it. They didn't have a problem with it. They're like, So one thing we know for sure is that war is good with both parties. War is good with both parties. I mean, they were fine with Hillary. And look, they didn't back off Trump's ass because they were riding Trump like he was an Amtrak train. They was riding him like he was riding him like a wave for a long time until he dropped a Moab. And they were like, oh, we love him. We love him. We love him. We love him. Remember that? Remember that? Yeah, I remember that. I do. I remember it. I know you remember it.
There's going to be consequences and repercussions.
And it seemed like if Trump wanted to stay in office, and that's what it seemed like for a minute, if he went to war, that was the only way he was going to be able to stay in office. That's how it was looking. I got to tell you, I was like, I don't know. I think they're going to get Trumpy. They're going to get Trump. They're going to get him. But they were okay with him for a minute, for like 2 seconds. They backed them off for a minute. It's like, all right, I'll bomb this over here. Okay. It's like the stormtroopers came through the door and they had the guns fixed. He's like, okay, I'll do it. Get out of here. If I bomb them, will you leave? Will you leave? Don't touch my son. I'll bomb them. And he bombed them. They were like, all right. They backed out the room on his ass. That's what I believe. And we all on the same quest for truth, guys. We just, some of us take different avenues. Let's try, like my thing is, man, I say we got to try not to be so hard on one another as long as we have good intentions, right? Good intentions are important. You take the time to see if the person has good intentions. It's been taking me a while to realize that some people just believe different stuff. They can look like me. They can talk like me. They can have different stuff in their head. They can believe different things. And it doesn't mean that they're on the take necessarily. It doesn't mean that they are full of it, that they're just doing this for money. It does not mean that. That is a very broad generalization to make. I'm learning that there are people who just believe, and they really believe it. They strongly feel it. And it's possible that you could become so embittered that you can feel a certain way based on the way you perceive treatment or whatever, or the way you see the government or the way you see a party, and it could ruin you from the inside, like rot you. Like if you open it up and be like, God, this guy's rotten. His heart is made, his heart's a brick. He's got a brick heart. This guy is cold on the inside. It's like an ice tray. This guy's an ice cube, ice tray, iced tea, all of it. Frost, Kid Frost, like all of that. Because some people are really bitter, man. And they're not sellouts in any way. They just think different. They're just wired differently. And then we do have some sellouts too. I gotta give it up for the sellouts too. There are people. But even then it's like, I get it. Some people are in that system, like if you work for someone, I'm able to be independent because I'm independent. If I was not independent, I could not be independent. And you get what I'm saying, right? Look, I could not talk this way if I had a cushy life, if I didn't need to come to you and say, hey, could you guys help me go to Salt Lake City and help me go to Oregon? If I didn't have to do that, right, I wouldn't be able to do this. There you go. The reason why it sucks that I have to do that is the reason why I get to do this, though. Because if all the stuff people love to say about your boy Tim Black, and that's why one of the reasons why I made that video. All the stuff they want to say about you, or about you doing this for this reason, that for that reason. If you were truly doing it that way, if I was doing it that way, then I'd be good. But yeah, I don't think everyone who disagrees with you or disagrees with me is on the take. I don't believe that. And I had to learn that. Because, you think things are obvious to you. It's because it's your vantage point. To you, it looks like, damn, how could you not see this shit? They're like, I don't see it that way. And I'm like, you show it like it's right there. I don't see it that way. You be like, put your hand out. They be like, yeah. Like, damn, his hand ain't shaking to nothing. He really believes it. Like, yeah, I don't see it that way. Why do you see it that way? And it's like, wow, okay, so we have an authentic person with a different viewpoint who's holding fast and steady to that viewpoint. And they're not a bad person. It just, oh man, now I'm shattered. Like, oh man, I'm shattered because I have to look at you, and respect you and just say we differ. Oh, God, we got to do that. Yeah, we got to do that. Give it up for that, guys. We got to do that. But I will hammer you. Oh, yeah, I will hammer you. I will tell you the truth to your face. I will tell you the truth to your face. I'm not going to insult your humanity, but I'm going to go at you, though. Oh, I'm going to go at you. But, and that's a spirited debate, right? A spirited debate. Mix it up a little bit, have at it, all that good stuff. Hey, you got to be able to take it if you dish it. If you're going to dish it, you got to be able to take it. So, yeah, man. YouTube people. Help me out, YouTube. What am I missing, YouTube? If I was Joy Reid, I would toe the party line. If I was Joy Reid, I'd do what Joy Reid is doing, man. Because I'd be Joy Reid. Come on, man. If you are that person, you would do what that person does. If you are not that person, you would not do what that person does. The reason why I don't do that is because I'm not them. And people choose. But you cannot be Joy Reid and do what I do. Get it? Get what I'm saying? I can't be you and do me. Because I wouldn't be me anymore. You don't get to pick and choose. How can I say this? We are all who we are. We're the sum total of our, we're the sum of our own experiences and our own thoughts. And we make decisions, right? Everybody, all of us. I cannot be Joy Reid because I'm not Joy Reid, nor am I in her position. But I don't believe a person who would talk ill of wars would ever be allowed on MSNBC. So I wouldn't be me anymore. I would not be able to be myself, is what I'm telling you. I would no longer be Tim Black is who I am right now. If I was on MSNBC. They fired Ed Schultz for much less, right? He was talking about TPP. Got rid of that ass. Who else to get rid of? They got rid of, come on guys, they got rid of the guy who did the talk show. It was damn good, right? Before Oprah. Got rid of his ass. He started talking about Iraq. See ya. And he made them money. A lot of it. Like, uh-oh. I know he was like, what? Yeah, Fridge, remember that, Am? He said opinion on Oprah 2020. Oh, man. Look, I'll say this. I'm going to say this, and I mean it so well. I mean it sincerely. Oprah 2020. I mean it. I've been thinking about it. Hell nah. Hell no. Nopra. And look, I'm not taking away from her all of the vast amount of success she's had within the media field. I'm not taking away from her all of the hard work she's put in to what she believes in. I'm not taking that away from her. She's very influential. She's very successful. She's dynamic. And anyone who takes that away from her is not doing a service. I have talked about her before, and I just focused on would I vote at this point for her? No. I don't want a celebrity president. I don't want a celebrity. I want a regular freedom fighter, truth teller, real individual who knows policies, that has a platform that I can get behind, that I can support. It won't change everything in my life or in my friends' lives or my family's lives or my neighbors' lives, all our lives, right? But it'll help somewhat. And it will definitely, if we get the right person, will change a lot of lives across the globe because we do a lot of stuff in foreign lands that impact a lot of people. And that's something that John Baraka talks about. So I do not feel any certainty at all because I don't know what Oprah stands for. I have no idea, right? It seems to me that she would stand for the same stuff that Obama stood for. And that's not good enough for me. But I don't know because I don't know a platform. So yeah. But no, as far as Oprah, I'm not on board with Oprah. I can't be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Matthew said he vote for Ellen DeGeneres before he vote for Oprah Winfrey. That's probably the same thing, right? I didn't vote for any celebrities. I don't want no celebrity fixing my roof unless they're paying somebody to fix my roof. You understand what I'm saying? That's not who's there. You don't want a celebrity trying to be your doctor or your lawyer. Why would you want a celebrity try to be a politician? Are they willing to dedicate the rest of their lives to understanding foreign policy, domestic policy? Something other than ideas. Everybody got ideas. I would like things to be better. No, man, a politician needs to be a student of government, a student of these issues. And I think it should be a higher barrier of entry for anybody who wants to have the most important job in the land. That's what I think. Bad. Yeah. That's what I believe. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, Oprah's great. You know, she's a billionaire, right? Did something. Trump did something. He a billionaire, right? He did something. I also don't believe you become a billionaire in this system, in our society, or probably any society, right? Without doing some stuff, you probably had to look the other way on a lot of shit. I'm just saying. Like, you could become a millionaire by, putting something together, something great, and keeping your ethics for the most part, and looking in that mirror every day. I believe that. But I don't think you could become, and look, and you may be able to become a multimillionaire. have millions of dollars, millions of dollars, right? I believe that you probably can do that. But I don't believe that you can become a billionaire without doing this. Help! Look over here, help! Look over here, help! Help! Help me, look over here, help me. I believe you got to turn your back and ignore a lot of, gosh, are they done yet? Oh, phew. They finally stopped screaming. Okay. Ooh, I was starting to feel a little bad there. They kept crying loudly, wailing like that. Gives me the heebie-jeebies when they cry that way. Hey, that's how I see it, man. I don't care if you Trump or Oprah. Can't get that type of money without looking the other way on a lot of shit. That's just how I see it. Oh, God, are those children crying? God. Turn the music up. What's wrong with you before I fire your ass? Cut the music up. I'm just saying. I know that's horrible, but it's what I believe, man. Oh, Biden. Look, man, somebody tell Joe Biden I said kiss my ass. Look, man, I'm not impressed. I remember back in 2008, I didn't even know who Joe Biden was, right? I learned about him in 2008, and I thought he did have a quality that was, a lot of it has to do with looks. Yeah, man, a lot of how we see people has to do with looks. Obviously, we're seeing them. I think that Joe Biden resembles something, and then he has the voice inflection, and if he doesn't touch the women as much, he does appeal to a demographic of people. But when you start looking at Joe's track record, Joe just a corporatist, and you start saying, oh, this folksy shit is just looks. It's just sounds. It's not actual actions. Actual actions, that's what I see in working stiff Joe, working guy Joe, average Joe. That's what I see. So Joe can kiss my ass and find people that look just like me ass. That's what I think. No, he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna run in 2020. I think we're just testing the waters. They throw names out. They got look, the Democratic Party has money. They got focus groups. They're doing trend analysis. They got these people. They haven't learned anything. They're in rooms looking at algorithms and looking at, I think that if we let's see what their reaction to the Oprah thing was. Let's see if, what about we get somebody, shut up, we're going to run the thing. We still got a few cycles we need to run and test. I mean, that's their thing. That's how they lost. People got mad. Donna Brazile. She told you shit you did not know. I didn't know, right? I didn't know. She said it. Oh, look at this here. But I've been doing campaigns for 35 years. You need to do this. No. Shut up. Go back, mammy. Look, we're going to do this. Don't worry your little head, mammy. We got this. We got to run the thing and to shoot through and then we process the thing and the thing. That's what they did, man. You think they stopped? They didn't stop. They ramped it up. They didn't stop. And after they got their asses kicked in 2016, they had their asses handed to them literally. It's like, zoom. Could you pick that ass up and hand it to them? Okay. Here, Tom. Here's your ass handed to you, Tom. The Democratic Party's ass. When they got their asses handed to them in 2016, you would have thought they'd go get that stuff all cleared up. They go, get this out of here, get rid of that guy, get rid of that guy, get rid of all these guys. They kept all those people in play And instead of scrapping this whole, look here, do this thing, jump through this thing, and do the double down on the other thing, and we're gonna run this compression of the process of the scientific analysis of the data that'll zoom, and we could for focus group test the thing over here. Instead of getting rid of all that shit, they just said, let's put more money in the thing we were doing. We're going to run it 3 times instead of 6 times. We're running it 36 times. Then we're going to shoot it through the thing. Then we're going to process the data, crunch the numbers, and come back with a better. That's exactly what they did, man. They learned nothing. Nothing. Like that guy, Colonel Klink. Hogan's Heroes, nothing. How do you make, side note, they made a comedy out of people being in a concentration camp. You realize that shit? But they canceled The Wire. I don't get it. Anyway, just saying, man. So anyway, I think the Trump supporters, they need to wake up, and so do the Democrats. They need to wake up. And I like I say, I think Trump supporters, I look at them separately from Republicans in a lot of ways. But anybody who looks at Mitch McConnell, there are people who look at Mitch McConnell and go, that's my guy. Well, listen here, first of all, I'd like to say, fuck the kids. And, yeah, I'd like to say that. Like also say that, like that maybe we point out the fact that the blacks and the Latinos they're not welcome in our country any longer, and they never should have been. No, this guy. There are people that's my guy. He's right here. There are people somewhere. I don't know him. I don't kick it with him, but I believe that there are people because he keep getting reelected. There's some people that gotta like Mitch McConnell. I'm like, how the hell? Who's paying you to like this guy? And it'd be somebody you talk to him, they'd be like, oh yeah, I like Mitch. He's a good guy. I'd be waiting for him to blink. He'd just be like, are you alive? He'd just be like, yeah, I'm alive. Like, what is wrong with you? How much drugs? Do you have any more of that weed that you've been smoking? It's not weed, it's an opiate. But there are people who admire Nancy Pelosi. Yeah. Yeah. There are people that admire Nancy Pelosi. I know it's crazy, right? It's crazy. It's like, there's a woman going, she's a woman who stood up. And I'm like, what? She's been so dynamic. I'm like, what? We talking about the same Nancy Pelosi? You talk about Nancy Weber, right? Nancy Drew. Nancy Kerrigan. Right? Your cousin Nancy. No, Nancy Pelosi. She's such a vanguard of, like, what the? Head spin around like, what is wrong with you? So, I've had to learn that there are people, I think they're not keeping it real, but they're keeping it real. It's just crazy real. It's like, they're real, ain't my real. That's it. There are people keeping it real, but their real is not your real, and you don't relate to it. And I have had, in the past, I've been like, oh man, that's crazy. Right? This person has malintent. This person is evil. I'm like somebody out of that movie, Altered States, when they realize that the people, or Close Encounters, or Altered States, I think I was right. Oh! Or with the Body Snatchers. Oh! You remember that? People turn, but you don't know they turn. And you like talking to them. Hey man, how you doing? Like, I'm serious, man. If you young people, you millennials don't know what I'm talking about. Body snatchers, yo. It's like They Live. Another classic. Another classic. Yeah, man. Yeah. So I'm like, and that's another thing about me, guys. And I think you know this, but I'm not like, politics is so important, I believe. If I thought if I thought I could help change some of the issues that I see in my communities, in the people I grew up with, in my neighborhood, in my state, in my city, if I thought I could do that without politics, I'd do it. I would stop I would stop talking about politics. I would. If I thought, because it's a downer, man. I'm a fun person. I like movies. I like music. I like cooking. I used to like going fishing sometimes and cook the fish sometime. Right? I got a family. I had a good job. I was in a thriving industry. But I didn't, So if I thought there was really a way that we could get to a point where, where we'd have without politics, I'd do it. But hey, if you look at it, once you become educated and you realize that there is really no way around politics, you can't go under it. Can't go under it. Can't go over it. You can't. You have to go through politics to get the change that you're talking about, the type of change that you want. So you don't have a choice. You can ignore it. Like a lot of people just choose to ignore it. They do that. But once you get done doing that and then you look over, you look around and everything's on fire like in that cartoon, that meme, the guys are sitting at the table drinking tea and the whole house is burning up. The room's on fire. It's like, once you realize that's real life and that politics is the only way to put out, then you got to get involved. And I think that's keeping it real too. Let's keep it real. Sorry. It's what it is. So anyway. Shout out. Shoot, let's shout out some people. Shout out some people. Chris Newton. Yeah, I saw Dave the movie when the president had a stroke and a double took over and started to enact propaganda to help people. How great would that be? Enacting programs to help people. Yeah. How great would that be? And you see how idealistic it was. You see what I'm saying? In real life, it could have been realer, more real, more true if they took out the fake president, the movie president in the movie, because he was trying to do too many changes. They got rid of him. They put this guy in. That'd be probably more realistic. It's about a stroke. But then the vice president was actually a good guy. He was a good person. I remember now, and they put him in. And, yeah, that's a good movie, man. Good movie, brother. I just want to be heard. Give it up for Jeff Slaymaker, Matthew Finolis, Jennifer Vickers. What's up, Jennifer? What up, people? What up? Rogue Flood. Anthony Allen for a super chat. Go ahead, Anthony Allen. I got one super chat. Woo! I'm going to be able to go to Oregon, Portland, Oregon for the first time in my life and do some stand-up with Lee Camp. I'm going to be able to do it. Thank you, Anthony Allen. At least I hope to be able to do it in part because of you, brother. Thank you, brother. Who else is out here? Rogue Flood. Road floods, we have to do our part, each and every one of us. I believe I agree with you 100%. We do have to do our part, each and every one of us. I agree with you 100%. And whatever your gift is, whatever your thing is, whatever you can devote your time to do that you can offer to the people, do that. You know? Do that. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. And some people want guarantees that if I do this, I know this is going to happen. Man, there are no guarantees, but I know giving up and just quitting and ignoring it is not going to be a solution. Can't do it. Just can't. Look, if the dishes are piled up, if you got a sink full of dishes, right, you may not want to tackle them right now because you may not feel like it. And I get that, right? It's okay to take a break, but just know them damn dishes in that sink. That's this messy politics that we have, right? It's okay if you want to go away for a while, you want to go watch a show, or you want to go take in a movie, or you want to take the kids out, whatever you want to do, right? Right? Whatever you want to do. Go dancing, fine. Just know them dishes got to be handled. That's it. So we got to come back and handle them. I'm not saying you can't take a break, but don't act like they're going to do themselves. They're not going to do themselves. Them dishes, they're going to be still. Hi. Every time you walk past the kitchen, they're like this. Hi, big guy. Hi. Plate with old ass spaghetti on it going, hello. I see you over there, lazy motherfucker. Come on. Right here when you ready. I'll be right here. I ain't going nowhere. And you can't just take all the dishes out the sink, throw them in the basket, drive to a dump and just throw them all away because you got to get new dishes. Pretend you can't afford to do that. Pretend you can't afford. You have to have plates. You have to have utensils, cups, containers. Pretend. So that's the way I look at it. And, yeah. Melanin Nation. Tim, being black is best thing ever. I don't know. In what country? Ah! Woo! In what world? In what year? Hey, Melanoid Nation, man. Bruh. I'm happy to be black. I'm proud of who I am. But let's not be crazy. What Chris Rock say? This is a one-legged white dude working at what? Walmart? Not Walmart. He didn't say Walmart. Chris ain't stupid. He ain't trying to mess up his sponsorship opportunities. I mess mine up all the time, but I don't have any offers, so. But no, man, he says it's a one-legged bus boy, one-eyed, one-legged bus boy, white bus boy somewhere, and he wouldn't trade places with me, and I'm rich. So come on, Melanoid Nation, man. It's one thing to be proud of yourselves and have a culturally appreciate yourself for who you are, respect yourself, have great self-esteem, believe in yourself, and see the opportunity and take advantage of being who you are and embrace that totally. And it's another thing being a damn fool. Like we know what we up against. Like a lot of people don't know. But they haven't lived your life to understand it. Some things people have to live to understand, truly understand. And I've been disappointed by some liberal folks who like, yo, man, you realize how hard it is for me to do what I've done? And they're like, I'm a destroyer. I'm like, oh, look at this. Look at this. I bet if it was Paul Joseph Watson, y'all would have a lot of shit to say. But this a white guy, he's a liar too. And no one's saying, look at the racist white guy. They're just going, well, that's just his opinion. I'm like, wow, this liberal stuff's funny. It's funny how we pick and choose who's, doing what they're doing. So anyway, man, why'd I read that? You heard me, Kerry. I did. I thought I said it loud. Careful, that's not a soap. That's a urinal cake. Yeah. All right. Well, look, guys, that's it, man. I've been up here just talking and talking. I ain't got nothing. I'm just talking, man. I want to thank you all for tuning into the show tonight, man. Just hanging out with me. Tomorrow is Freedom Friday. You call up and you get a chance to talk and say what's on your mind, unless you are trolling, and then I'll just hang up on you immediately. If you troll, I hang up immediately. All right? But I want to thank everybody, man, for being who you are, for being where you are. Much love to you. Have a great remainder of your evening. I see you tomorrow. We've got a full schedule, packed day tomorrow. We got Coffee with Tim Black. Then we got Black Word today. Then we got Freedom Friday. And yes, it's nothing I'd rather do. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to do it. Peace, y'all. I will see you on the next one. Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black.
Why can't we pick our own colors?
No way, no way. Try it once, it does.
Check this out, son. Hold up.
Why can't we pick our own colors?
No way, no way. Try it once, it doesn't work. You get four guys all fighting over who's gonna be Mr. Black.
I got you stuck off the realness.